Welcome to the Den, the Dark Entertainment Network. I'm the Gothic Rose, and this is the hot mess of Hollywood. Yes, fiends of the Den, this is the Dark Entertainment Network, a channel where the news meets conspiracy theories, makes babies in my brain, and it comes out my mouth. If you enjoy this type of content, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell because I am not going to stop. Welcome back, dear fiends of the Den. It is the hot mess of Hollywood, and today we are discussing newer celebrities and their brands, success or failure. Let's see who gets burned. Hollywood is filled with actors and actresses who are brands in and of themselves. And within that, they sometimes try to create brands like Goop, The Honest Company, Beautiful or Flower by Drew, As Ever, Rhode Beauty, Rare Beauty. I could go on. But today, let's discuss a couple of the newer celebrities who have basically established brands in the last couple of years and what makes them successful or not. So, today I would like to talk a little bit about Hailey Bieber and her $1 billion Rhode Beauty deal with Elf Cosmetics compared to Meghan Markle's As Ever brand, who had Netflix behind her, who had at one point Spotify behind her, who now has a podcast on Lemonada. And there are a couple of blind items I want to get into. But why was Hailey Bieber at 28 years old able to create a $1 billion company and still remain working on the team, while Meghan Markle in her 40s has struggled for a lifetime and gone through several brands to basically create nothing? So, the blind items concerning Meghan Markle, as Hailey Bieber makes this $1 billion deal with Elf Cosmetics, it goes, the illiterate one didn't get the deal she thought she would, so she can't afford to have real employees, and she will have to go back to interns. So Meghan Markle may have been looking for some sort of $1 billion deal, maybe with Netflix and her As Ever products that she is not restocking until 2026. So why would anyone make a deal with someone who can't even restock jam and powdered crepe mix and rabbit food? Yes, rabbit food. I truly believe her flour sprinkles are rabbit food. And we also all know how Meghan Markle is dying to be the face of Dior or some big designer brand, and she's just not getting it. And this blind item says, if you are a designer and want to feel confident in your future, the editor better not discover that you are giving the illiterate one free stuff to wear. And this comes right on the heels now of Catherine, the Princess of Wales, absolutely killing it in Victoria Beckham in her aquamarine outfit from Trooping the Color. And this particular blind item is from Monday, May 26th, so just a short while ago. And that comes right after the Met Gala, which they did not make an appearance. They did not get an invitation. And it's funny because no matter what the Kardashians do, whatever issues they have, whatever scandals they have, they always get their invites. They always clean up their images. And they, more like Meghan Markle, who claims to be royalty, the Kardashians keep calm and carry on. Now, with that, Meghan Markle took a step back to figure out what As Ever is, but also wants to now somehow open up hotels and have some sort of travel through As Ever, which doesn't make any sense because if you can't keep jam in stock, How are you supposed to keep hotels running? Hotel motel management with restaurants is a whole different animal. And I doubt she has those kinds of billions. And I believe she was looking for it. And that was the deal that she was hoping would go through. And it did not. And you need billions to do that. Now, like I said, Meghan Markle is in her 40s and she had mild success on Suits. I've never seen an episode. I hadn't ever heard of it before. She started dating Prince Harry, but her biggest accomplishment, it seems, has been just marrying Prince Harry and trying to live off of the royal name and title that she said she wouldn't live off of. So, I mean, you don't want to see people constantly fail, but she's not putting out a marketable product. She's not putting herself out there as a marketable person. And she has done a lot of things that are scandalous, including this weird video in the hospital, which convinced no one that she was pregnant. And, even before that, people were turning her down for deals because she does not have a good reputation. But Hailey Bieber, let's look into her. That at 28 years old, Hailey Bieber just made $1 billion power move. She sold Rhode Beauty to Elf Beauty. Now, this $1 billion deal includes 600 million in cash, 200 million in stock, and an additional 200 million if Rhode meets its growth targets over the next 3 years. And honestly, I believe it will. She has beautiful skin, and now I need to try her products. So Hailey Bieber is not stepping away, even despite this sale. She's continuing on as Rhode's chief creative officer and head of innovation. So she's overseeing creative direction, product development, and marketing. She sees Rhode as a legacy brand and believes this partnership will help expand its global reach. Now, she's got all of this speculation about her marriage to Justin Bieber, and she, has had I guess these like public little weird feuds with Selena Gomez, who did just give Hailey Bieber a lot of support when Justin Bieber wrote something about hating Mother's Day and then saying something really rude about Hailey Bieber never making it to the cover of Vogue. Now, a lot of people are saying the same thing about Hailey Bieber as they're saying about Meghan Markle. They're using their husband's money for this. Okay, yeah, fair enough. They both did. But despite Hailey Bieber having her scandals as well, and whatever went on with her in the past, she stayed focused these 3 years so much on her skincare company and making the best products possible and proving it with her own really beautiful skin that she has really created a legacy brand. And she's only 28 years old, and she's been weirdly vocal about things in the media as well. And people have accused her of stalking Justin Bieber since she was a child. Could be true, could not be true. She did grow up with famous parents, or a famous father in a famous family. So she was in that circle regardless. But the point is, for this woman to have made this deal at 28 years old and to stay on the job, she will do this for her life. She will constantly be creating new brands. She will take on a bigger role. She will probably end up like the Anna Wintour of skincare, like taking people under her wing and finding brands to promote in the future. And she really has made her mark at a very young age. And I find that to be so impressive. Plus, she just had a baby and she has a man child as a husband, and she's tried very much to be like a very loving wife, and he has not been a very loving husband to her. Now, reports are suggesting now that she's shifting focus to help launch his fashion brand, and it's called Skylark. And I'm hoping that maybe this will help bring them closer together, because while Justin Bieber is out screaming at paparazzi, she's helping build their reputation back up. I think anyone truly can be forgiven and truly can have some of their, more questionable actions be forgiven and forgotten in the public view if they tend to build a brand that is trustworthy within themselves, within the products they're offering. And just to quickly hit on Blake Lively with this false victory of having some of the case thrown out against Justin Baldoni, or Justin Baldoni's case against her. Some of it was thrown out with the judge. Judge Lyman is being asked by several people to recuse himself because he has lots of ties with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, as well as he is the same judge that refused to allow Diddy's accuser to remain anonymous in her testimony and in her lawsuit against him, which could be lawful, but still it was for her safety. Anyway, the point is that the stand-in in Deadpool 2, who has a service animal who looks much like Dogpool, is now speaking out that Ryan Reynolds created that character to mock him and his service animal. Meanwhile, National Geographic hired Ryan Reynolds to narrate Underdogs, which is so funny. He was making fun of a service animal in one movie while promoting animals in another movie. And then let's just get to Blake Lively making her victory lap rounds, and she put on this weird little Chanel looking, kind of trashy Chanel looking, pastel-y outfit with the worst Louboutins to go with the outfit. They were mule heels. No, you wear a pump with that. My God. Anyway, she went out to push Betty Boos right after doing a victory lap about winning so much of this case against Justin Baldoni, screaming and crying still about sexual harassment and all these bad things that she's gone through. But she goes and promotes a booze line, and alcohol and any kind of substance abuse has a lot to do with domestic violence. And by the way, 1 in 4 men and 1 in 5 women right now are going through a horrific domestic violence experience as I podcast. So this is not someone who knows how to market herself or listens to anyone at all. In her 30s, mother of 4. Hailey Bieber in her 20s got married young, acted pretty much how a 20-something would act until she got serious at 25, and by 28 built $1 billion company, and she is the one who is no nonsense, while Blake Lively talks word salad just like Meghan Markle. So clearly one of these three with these brands is listening to their advisors. And it's just the other two I see petering out eventually. I think that as ever, and anything Meghan Markle does will float away, because if she's not going to make products until 2026, the interest is going to go away, except for her diehard fans. And once Justin Baldoni proves anything more about Blake Lively that's unflattering, that she cannot now spin or get a judge to get her out of, her stock is going to fall too. So the difference is we have these two entitled women, Meghan Markle and Blake Lively, who didn't work hard enough and just thought it would come to them. And we had someone like Hailey Bieber, who sounds to be entitled, but actually put her money where her mouth is and built $1 billion company. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and thank you for joining me on this episode in The Den. Hollywood, Hollyweird, where would we be without the distraction of the celebrities from all of the craziness that is going on in the world? I hope I am here to distract you from all of that today. Thank you, and great job, everyone, on No King's Day. I am the nerd who loves research, and if you do have any tips for me, please email me at welcometothedenpodcast@gmail.com. If you enjoy this content and even pettier content on my Hot Mess of Hollywood, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And thank you for joining me in the den.